Hello and welcome to our tier list of all 20 of Tim Burton's directed films. Are you excited, mate? You excited for this?
Yeah.
How did you feel? How did you feel having to watch all these films? How did you feel?
Initially I was because I'm not that arsed about him. I've seen the sort of like more high profile stuff, and I was a bit like, I don't really know if this is my guy. But to be fair, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think I'm the same realistically, but I think there's a few that I thought I was going to really like that I ended up disliking, and then I thought that I was going to dislike but ended up liking. So, bit of a mixed bag, isn't it?
Yeah, there's definitely two that I will not budge on at all for complete different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I know you know one, and I don't know the other one, so I'm quite excited to tell you the other one. But yeah, there's two I'm 100% not going to budge on. The rest, I'm kind of
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, right. Let's just.
Are we starting from the start? We're going from the first to the last.
No, the list is kind of jumbled, so I thought it would be funnier just to whatever comes at us, we'll just go for.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine, man.
Before we jump into it, we'll go through our rankings again because I always think they're a lot of fun. So at the top, we've got Goat. The best.
Goat!
The best.
The G-O-A-T, baby.
I actually struggled to think which ones would go in here. I know there's a few, but I don't think there's loads, is there, for this one?
No, I think for these there are a lot of this is rather than this is mine.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of that rather than there's a few of my personal ones, but yeah, a lot of them are just like it's kind of this film. Obviously, it's in this category.
I agree. So next we've got Bangin', which is really
good,
but not quite the best. Very good, but not quite the best. Then we've got mid.
Yeah,
mid.
Just
mid.
Just one of those you go.
Yeah. Then we've got.
Get a load of this guy. My favourite.
Get a load of this guy. Just put everything in there because it's a laugh. And then at the bottom we've got Stinky. Rubbish. I think there's a few. For this, if I'm being totally honest.
We've got a few thinkers in, and
we have.
You winkies like.
So we'll start with Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Okay. Yes, that is the first on the list. How do you feel about this one?
It's actually right.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah, I think going into this, I had no real idea of what this was going to be. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like a Nanny McPhee thing. I don't know why.
Yes, same.
That's kind of what I just felt going into this. It was going to be some weird, like, wholesome family film, and it was surprisingly fun.
It's almost Tim Burton's X-Men, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird take on like superheroes. It's a Tim Burton take on superheroes, but yeah, it was actually a bit of fun.
Yeah, I think the lead actor, was it Asa Butterfield from The Boy in Striped Pajamas? I think he's terrible. I think he's really bad.
Which one was he?
The
main kid?
The main actor,
yeah.
I think he was rubbish, and I think it took a while to get where it was going, and I didn't care much for anything that wasn't in Miss Peregrine's school. But...
Hey!
Go on.
It's in Wales.
It is in Wales.
It's in Wales.
That was
for that. Yeah, for that alone.
Yeah, I agree. So where would you like to put Miss Peregrine, buddy?
I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. So I've gone Bangin'.
Really?
Yeah, I know you're probably going to say mid, and it probably is. But I think it was probably just me going as a whole throughout, because this was one of the last films I watched. Because one of the latest, the one just before, it's like 2 or 3 just before the end now, isn't it? And yeah, I think going through them all and getting to this, I was like, oh, this is quite enjoyable. And I think it was Welsh, which kind of just went, it probably is a bit, but for Wales, I'll give it a banging. Yeah, it's up to you.
I'm fairly happy putting it there because I feel like this is a film I will rewatch and actually get more out of the more I see it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, fine.
100% agree.
Fine, I'll agree with you with that one. Let's go first banging. That's very good. The next one on this list, I didn't watch. Very sorry. It's Dumbo.
I don't care, Stinky Boy. Cool. Stinky Boy.
I had no interest. I just don't care.
It's live action Disney in it. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's got a fan base, and I'm sure there's people out there go, they're bouncing to see Mufasa coming up now. I don't care. I found every single live action Disney film is just shit.
Well, there's another one on this list, obviously, which we'll get to later. But
they're just really like, whatever. I don't care.
Just a miss.
The film's decent. I don't want to see a live action version.
I agree. So the next one on this list is Dark Shadows. How did you feel about this?
Again, surprisingly enjoyed it.
I couldn't finish it.
Wow.
I hated.
Okay. Well,
hated
you
this
go
film.
then.
I hated
wow.
it.
Okay.
So this was my last watch. I watched this morning, right? So I sat there.
Yeah.
First 5 minutes, I was like, "Ooh, I hate the character designs, but I really love like the stage design, the set design, costume design stuff. Looks really good, right?" So I was like, "Okay, I'm not so into the characters, but I'm into the vibe of the film. You know what I mean? I'm into how it feels." 10 minutes go by and I'm like, fuck, what is going on? What is this? I don't care. And we kept going on and they kept introducing all these characters and this family sucks. And honestly, I got 56 minutes in and I had to turn it off.
Wow.
I know,
okay.
I'm so sorry. I wanted to enjoy it. And I kept watching to think, okay, it's going to change. It's going to be good. 56 minutes. I was like, nope, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. I'm very surprised at that. To be honest with you, this felt like your kind of film.
I know,
sure.
and this is why I kept it on.
That you were gonna, yeah. No, I'm very surprised at that. I had a good time.
Really,
I really.
What did you enjoy about it?
Was, I mean, I found it funny, but not for the correct reasons.
No,
it's just I found him relatively funny, like the sort of. It's a very typical like man from the past.
It's a fish out of water film, isn't it?
Yeah, and I found some of his lines funny, like especially it's gonna sound a bit bad, but there's a lot of misogyny. Not nasty. It's never like ooh, but it's sort of like
there was the line, wasn't there? Oh, a woman doctor, what an age to live in, and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was little lines like that. That was it is funny, like do you know what I mean? Again, it's not it's not meant maliciously. It's not nasty lines. It's just kind of funny. It was all right. Like I think Chloe Grace Moretz is probably the worst part of it.
I can't stand her anyway.
But yeah, no, I know. I was watching this. I was like, oh, Dan's not gonna like us because it was bad.
Yeah.
But she had some. Annoyingly, she did have her and Johnny Depp together work.
Yeah.
Like they had good interactions together. I didn't care for her as a character, but whenever they used to like having a conversation or something, I always found that quite funny, quite entertaining. Like the more because she was a bit more like this is obviously something weird, and he was, it was like she was basically pointing out how weird he is, and he was kind of pointing out how weird she was, and it was quite funny. It was harmless, and I genuinely found the action pretty good. It's quite brutal, like especially like I know you didn't finish it, but as it goes on later, it's like a really the final scene is actually really cool. Were you introduced to? Have you seen this at all then, or was this?
I've never seen it before. This, as I said, I got an hour in, and I just got to the witch comes back as like this other woman.
So they have like a big fight, and it's actually really sick. Like she sort of starts falling apart and all that. Like her face starts cracking. And there's like a big sort of fight with everyone, and Chloe Grace Moretz ends up being a wolf and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It all gets a bit, it gets a bit wild. Like they have a big house where all the house is like bleeding and everything. It's quite cool. But yeah, I mean,
that was another issue though. I couldn't tell who this film was for. So it's a 12 rating, but I was like, they go for really childish humor, but then they go for like a lot of violence and stuff. So I had it was tonally all over.
Yeah, it is odd, isn't it? Especially considering it's one of the more. It's not old.
2012.
Like it felt more like it felt more like an old film where it's like pushing. If it was like a 90s film where it's kind of pushing the boat slightly, you'd be a bit more like, this is kind of fair. But yeah, it definitely feels like a family film with gore.
Yeah, it's very weird. So personally, where would you put it? Because I think what we could do is where you would put it, where I would put it, and then just balance it.
I mean, I've definitely got it incorrect here, but I probably would go like a mid.
What did you have?
I think I did put banger. I think I was just sort of like I don't know.
Just loved
just putting things places.
So I would
again. I think this is one of those I kind of enjoyed more than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Again, it's not. Would I watch it again? Maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm not that arsed. So I'd probably give it a mid.
So I'd go obviously Stu. So I think we maybe put it in Get a Load of This Guy just to balance it out. Yeah, happy with that? Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. As you can see, I'm balancing things out to be nice. I'm balancing things out for the future. You get me? Okay, next one up is Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow.
I do get
How did you feel about Sleepy Hollow?
Give me a second and I will tell you. No, it was good. It was, again, surprisingly alright.
Pure gothic feeling to this one, isn't there? Very gothic, very dark. I love this.
Yeah, I think I found a lot of, with the exception of one or two, a lot of the films I had no idea what they were.
Yeah.
I enjoyed more than the typical, like,
Yes.
oh, it's this one,
Mm-hmm.
like the Beetlejuice, these sort of things. As much as they're great films now, I think I enjoyed these more because I just didn't know what I was getting into. I had
Yeah.
no idea what this film was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Again, it's almost like a more serious Dark Shadows in a way,
Yeah.
where it's still got that like gore
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And it's still kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think, what is this a 12A as well,
This
or
is
is
a
this
15. This is a
a
15.
15? Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of feels a bit more of 15. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite dark, it's quite broody, but it's quite good, isn't it? It's a bit more serious.
That's literally the
Sort
reasons
of.
I love it, because it's got that perfect like aesthetic about it. It feels good.
Hmm.
It's really like gloomy, as you said, dark, and I just love
Hmm.
the character designs and stuff like that. They do a really good job here. So for me,
Yeah.
this would go banging. But what would you say?
I agree
You agree with that?
completely.
Look at
Yeah.
that. We're doing well here.
Yeah.
We're doing
No, I
well.
did. Yeah. Again, another one. I surprisingly, and again, what a good goal. Like a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
death. Really good death in this
Very
film.
good. Yeah.
Especially the one through the window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was great. Like when he spears him through the window and drags him through. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great film. I've always really liked this film. It's a good one.
Yeah. Fair.
Next one, I admit, once again, I didn't watch. Sorry, so sorry. Planet of the Apes, Tim Burton's take on Planet of the Apes. Did you watch
How
this?
did you not watch this, mate?
I just didn't
Right.
care.
Okay. Okay. Now this is. I was watching this, right, and I was like, "This is a disaster-based film.
Okay.
It's great for all the wrong
Oh,
reasons.
is it really?
It's horrific. It's so fucking stupid.
Right.
It's shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shit film. I'm not going to try and sit here and go, oh, actually, the monkeys look shit.
Okay.
The action is shit. Like,
Okay.
it's Mark Wahlberg being Mark Wahlberg. He's shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a man. Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg on this little planet of apes. It's like, fuck off, mate. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny because you got like these. You got obviously Mark Wahlberg in just wandering about with a load of apes.
Yeah.
They've got this like weird like love triangle with him and this female ape and him and this other girl that all kind of fall in love. They've got like just this bizarre like action scenes where at some points the apes can kind of half fly.
Right.
Like they do these like big like 30-foot jumps, but it's never like consistent.
Yeah.
They sort of walk sometimes, then they run their feet sometimes, and then it's just extremely selective. I genuinely laughed out loud so many times this film because it
sounds
so
horrendous.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, and then they kind of do like. Again, it's another fucking time travel. We've just kind of done a bit of time travel that's just a mess. It literally starts with Mark Wahlberg's in space. He's got like he's sort of like with a monkey that's kind of doing these weird experiments. Gets lost in space, ends up in the Planet of the Apes.
Right.
And that's kind of where we are. We're just on a Planet of Apes, and then they have a whole capture thing. They
Yeah.
escape, blah blah blah. It comes on later. And they end up finding this place where the apes are like, this is like the home of the original ape. Like, this is like our temple of sorts. It turns out that the ship was Mark Wahlberg's ship from the start.
Right.
Somehow, that crew had gone to find him. Mark Wahlberg had gone through this portal, gone forward thousands years or a couple of hundred years in the future. They've gone through the same portal, ended up 100 years previously,
Right.
lands on his planet, and then somehow the same ape he had in the start was the ape that is like their god.
Right.
So there's this huge battle. Honestly, it's the fucking best. There's a huge battle.
Sounds like you had a
and they're
great
all like
time.
scrapping. Oh, I did, man. I did. Again, all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. But yeah, there's a big battle at the end. They're all sort of scrapping. All of a sudden, in the distance, there's like this light
Yeah.
come in, and this ship drops, and it's the fucking monkey. A literal the monkey in his spacesuit from the start comes out, and he's like, oh, whatever his name was, I can't remember. They call him something. His actual name is like Edward or something shit like that. But it's just hilarious how this monkey was supposed to be their god. So somehow he was from the past, but now he's in the future. He just turns up in this ship, and it's so fucking stupid. Like, honestly, the amount of I was watching this just going, that's a bit, that's a bit. It's honestly, like, I generally think when we get the next Planet of the Apes, we need to cover this
100%,
on disaster baits because it's fucking incredible. But yeah, again, for all the wrong reasons, but I loved it. I fucking loved
Where would you
it.
like to rank this thing? Because I don't have any hand in this.
Oh, God, annoyingly though, I've gone this could be anywhere between Stinky and Goat. I was hoping that you would come with something. I'd be like, yes, sound.
I was going to, but I just like, oh man, I just couldn't.
Oh no, it's rubbish.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. Do you know what I mean?
It is rubbish, but for pure entertainment, chuck it in banging. Because it is honestly right. You just watch it. Just please watch it.
I will. I will.
And then just come back and be like, okay, I understand. Because again, it's fucking dreadful, especially knowing what we've got.
Yes,
the Planet of the Apes, which is just like it's just mate, honestly, it's like a sort of weird blend of like the original Planet of the Apes and this. Yeah. But yeah, it's so, and I mean the cast again is fucking mental.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. Right, moving on from your favourite film so far, we have got your other favourite film so far, which is Ed Wood.
Didn't finish it. Didn't like it. Couldn't get on with it. Didn't care. Found it very boring. Fell asleep twice, I think, in the film. It did nothing for me. Yeah. So I will. This is all you. I took Planet of the Apes. This is. Okay. I will allow you to take this. Yeah?
So this.
I'll sit back.
I can right. What you just said, I can completely understand. This is a very. You either click onto this film or you don't. Yeah. It's one of those. Yeah. So I watched this with Ash, and we sat there, and she was like, "I'm bored," and I was like, "I get it, but I'm not." As soon as it started, now I am not the biggest Tim Burton fan, and I'm not the biggest Johnny Depp fan. So this coming from me, yes, this film, honest to God, it finished, and I was like, I could watch it again. Do you know what it feels like to me? It feels like The Disaster Artist. It's literally like watching The Disaster Artist, but based on someone else. And I did all the research after I finished it, and it's pretty much spot on to the real man's life. So I have no idea who Ed Wood was. Literally no clue.
Okay.
It's all this story is pretty much real. Like, it's pretty much spot on. So when I read, so I halfway through the film, I wanted to read about Bela Lugosi, because Bela Lugosi in this film is played by a different actor, but obviously Bela Lugosi played Dracula back in the 30s. So I wanted to know if his career really tanked, and it did. Like, he became a major drug addict, and like he lost all his career and stuff due to this. And I think this film just handles it so well. Like, it's funny, but the way they do things, honestly, I could have cried multiple times just because the way they do these characters is so fucking good. I loved it. And there's obviously the whole other subject of this film is about a cross-dressing director. Now, I had no idea about that, but in the first 5 minutes, you see Ed Wood and his partner in bed, and she's like, "Oh, I've lost my jumper," and I literally looked to Ash and I went, "He's a fucking cross-dresser," and she went, "Nah, no way." Next scene is that, and I was like, I knew it, but like the way they handled that in 1994 in this era was so fucking good, and like they do it to a point where it doesn't feel silly. He looks ridiculous when he's wearing these women's clothes and this wig. Yeah, he looks ridiculous. But the way they do it...
You would back then, wouldn't
you? I didn't look at this and go, oh my God, that's ridiculous. I looked at it and I was like, fuck, I really respect that he's done this for this role to really like shine on this man that he's been voted the worst director of the world. Which is so funny. Oh, really? But honestly,
what was the culmination? What was his like magnus opus sort of thing?
So it was, what was it? That Plan 9 from Outer Space, the last. Well, sorry, you didn't finish it, but the last film they make in this film is like his big one. And did you get? I don't know how far you kind of got into it, but his first, the first film he's making about the cross-dressers. Did you see what it was called?
No.
Glenn and Glenda. So that's where Chucky got...
It was.
Clearly, this man and this story...
I did notice that reference.
Clearly, it was so inspirational for a lot of people. For me, this is Tim Burton firing all cylinders. This is his best film.
Enough.
So,
I am not going to argue.
I'm going to put it at the top, and I'm very sorry. I know you really hated it, but, it changed my life.
Look. Wow. Okay, fair enough. No, look, it's not for me.
I get it.
It's simple as that. This film, if it was down to me, it'd be stinky, because I couldn't get on with it. I could understand what they're going for, and again, I can understand the fact that it's very much ahead of its time and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it just wasn't. I got very bored. I think it probably is one of those films where I think there's going to be a lot of people out there that will go, like you have. They'll say like, this is perfect. It's art.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of other people that go,
100%. I was looking on Letterboxd
So
after I finished it because I wanted to get a kind of basic thing to see how people felt. And it is literally that. It's either, oh my God, there's nothing happening, I'm so bored. Or it's like a bunch of film bros being like, this is peak. This is Tim Burton at his best. And unfortunately, I fell into that category. But I felt the same with The Disaster Artist, though. That film is another film where I'm like, this is peak film because I love seeing the behind the scenes of someone's career. And this was just, I loved it.
Fascinating.
Loved it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I will allow you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Forget that.
Okay, next up is Batman Returns.
Okay.
What are you saying?
I'll just kind of say it. This is the best Batman film outside of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Wow. Do I agree? I might agree.
I think we both watched Batman, didn't we? Like for a year or so ago now together. And I remember leaving that going.
Yeah, you didn't really care, did you?
I didn't really get it. Yeah. I didn't find Michael Keaton's Batman that interesting. I found obviously Jack Nicholson's Joker is really fucking good.
Yes.
But I was just a bit like, don't really get it. And I watched this and I was like, nah, this is it.
It's
like
fucking
I think
sick, isn't it?
it's class. Like I think it's like a perfect blend of the sort of Dark Knight-y stuff, where it's a bit more brutal. It's a lot more brutal than Dark Knight. But it's got that sort of nasty side to it, but it's also like stupid at the same time. It's almost got all that
it's perfect.
Batman Forever.
It's almost like a
perfect Robin sort of thing to it.
It's almost like a perfect blend of Tim Burton being him and then the old original Batman kind of stuff, kind of chucked in together.
Yeah. I think Michael Keaton's a lot better in this film. I think him and Catwoman together it just works.
Beautiful.
It just works, isn't it? Obviously, Dan DeVito's Penguin is really good. Like I remember watching this as a kid and being terrified of him, and like watching now, I'm like, I can understand why he's really freaky. I kind of like the fact that the fact that he comes out and he's like, I'm an orphan boy, like, please help me, like, Batman's a bad man, look what he's done to me, blah, 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 and that sort of thing. So, I really enjoyed the story. I loved pretty much everything about this film. So, I think it's a massive step up from the first one. And, I do genuinely think, outside of Dark Knight trilogy, this could be the best Batman.
Yeah, it is one of the best. I totally agree. I love it. Catwoman in this film is unbelievable. Like, I just remember watching this as a youngster, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but a younger person, and just being like, wow, this is it. But yeah, like Danny DeVito, the whole cast here, they're just pulling it on. They're so good. And Tim Burton's direction here is awesome, mixed with the incredible score by Danny Elfman. Yeah, I'm happy to go right at the top for this.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
sweet.
No questions.
All right, we're doing well here. We haven't argued yet. This is good. This is good.
No.
So next, I can already assume where this is going. It's Batman, the first one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna right off the bat, I'm gonna say it's probably going in banging. What would you say?
I gone mid.
Oh really?
Because again, I can understand it, and it's the first Batman and blah blah blah, and I do get it. It just did nothing for me. I just remember watching this film and just being really like uninterested. Wasn't that asked about it. I think it is the first sort of iteration we properly had of Joker, especially in film.
In film, yeah.
And I just think he was a bit like, he's great.
Yeah.
The rest is very.
Yeah, I get it. I think the last time when we watched it for Batman Day, I think that was the best time I'd watched it because I hadn't seen it in ages. So when I watched it there, I actually really, really enjoyed it. I haven't watched it since, but that's kind of like the first and kind of really only time I've sat down and watched this one. So I had a real kick out of it. So for me, it would go banging. For you, it would go mid. Where shall we put it?
Look, it's Batman in there. Do you know what I mean? I like. If we're being honest, it's banging. Personally, I would go mid, but I'm happy with it going banging.
Okay. I feel like you're being too nice here. I feel like you're being too nice. I'm a bit worried, like, doing.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy to take this. Again, it's Batman, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I can't really sit here and go, well, if we're talking Ben Affleck, then.
Okay, so we've only got a few. How many we've got left? I think 10 or 11. Okay, we moved quite fast through this. Very nice. So our next film is Edward Scissorhands. I feel like you've got some things to say about this one.
Pretty enjoyable.
Oh, really? For some reason, I thought you didn't like it.
No, I think initially, I think when you spoke about this, I've seen a lot of these films a long time ago. Like, I'm not a big Tim Burton
Yeah.
fan. I'm not like there whenever it's a Tim Burton film, like, ooh, need to
Hmm.
see it. I don't really care. It's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched this a long time ago, and I remember just being like, this is fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
But like now I'm older, I'm a bit weirder, so I was a bit more like, you know, yeah, right. But yeah, now I'm a bit more like, yeah, I can see what you're going for.
Yeah.
It's odd. It is really odd. Like it is just almost like a Frankenstein-y
It's a
family film, isn't it?
I mean, it's literally a gothic romance, isn't it? This
Yeah,
is it.
it's a
Yeah.
weird sort of like, yeah, like a old school sort of like, here's a monster coming down to the village.
Hmm.
We all hate him, but he has a good heart. It's that.
Yeah, it is literally
And it's
Frankenstein.
just, yeah, it's just bizarre that it's
Mhm.
just like it was when I was watching this, I was just thinking, who the fuck come up with this?
Yeah.
Like it's just odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's not even like a monster. It's a man with scissors for hands.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, interesting. You know,
Yeah.
it's odd. It's weird. It's kind of fun. It's kind of
Yeah.
enjoyable. I think this is the first time where you properly see Burton. I'd
Yeah.
say
I mean, this is
it's the first
so
proper
Tim Burton.
Burton film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where even like the characters, everyone's like ridiculous. I mean, this is probably the second, but it's like everyone's ridiculous. Everyone's like really over the top.
Yes.
It's very like dramatic and weird, and yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised on the second viewing.
I find the humor in this film just sticks with me. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but I find this one
yeah, no, it was
hilarious.
quite funny.
You know the bit where they're like driving through the village and they see the house and he like goes to look out the window and he hits his head and he just comes back
Yeah.
like it kills me. It's so funny. And then
Yeah,
the
no, it is quite funny.
waterbed every time kills me off. I love
Yeah,
this
no,
film.
it is kind of funny.
I like this film though for the softer reasons. I think it's a really beautiful romance story, and this is why I enjoy this film so
Yeah.
much.
No, it is quite wholesome.
I'm not really like a romantic film guy, but when they're done like this, I think they're great. And this was clearly a massive inspiration for Lisa Frankenstein that came out this year. I think it was this year or last year. That film.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but yeah.
No, that's another beautiful film, and I'd put it in the same place as this. I'd go banging for this because I think this one really sticks with me. What do you
I
think?
completely agree.
Yep, sweet. I'm happy
That's
with that.
exactly where I went with it. I was thinking you were going to go. Now it would have been like fair. Again, this is another one where it's Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of these where you go, it's this film,
Yeah.
so I can't really argue. But
Yeah,
I'm
no, as much as I do love it, none of Tim Burton's films are really like my favorite films ever. There's maybe one or two that I'd consider like really up there. Unfortunately, Ed Wood is now one of them after I watched it. But yeah, there's not that many. Okay, next one. Your favorite film ever made? It's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
horrific. Genuinely, I mean this. I'm not being dramatic. Genuinely, one of the worst films I have ever
Did
seen.
you finish it?
I fucking yeah.
That's crazy.
I sat through the entire thing because it was almost in. Do you know like you hate
Disbelief,
something
yeah.
so much where you going, surely there's something. Surely I'm missing something. Surely something happened. It is fucking dreadful. Fucking dreadful. This is like when I said there's two that I'm going to argue for. This is Stinky.
Yeah.
I will not fucking hear anything else. It's fucking awful. He is so unlikable. He's a fucking. I don't get it. He's a literal child, and all these women are going, "Hey, Pee Wee, he looks like a fucking 40-year-old man in a child's suit.
Yeah.
What is going on?" The only slightly redeeming feature about this was the start, the whole inventing weird thing that was going on. That's pretty cool. And I was a bit like, "Oh, that's quite cool. If this is kind of how we're going, fair enough." Oh, I lost my bag. I'm gonna go around the world to fuck off, you little twat. No, shit, horrific. Hated it. Dan?
Okay. So I guess I just have a bit of nostalgia for it, maybe. I remember watching it when I was younger. I will completely agree that I think it's very creepy in a not good sense, and kind of when you read a bit more of his history as a person, it doesn't help the case at all. But to kind of take that out of it, I did have a relatively good time with it. It's so weird. It's so like it's just unchained. Like, it's just bizarre. But
it's nonsensical.
No, 100%, 100%. I would never like defend this film with my life and be like, actually, it's a masterpiece, because it isn't.
No,
I just think it's one of those films that if you have a bit of a nostalgia for it, or you kind of like really, really over the top stupid humor, then you're gonna get some sort of kick out of it. And I kind of like how dark it gets at certain points, like when you get to the Large Marge bit and she was a ghost the whole time. I love that little bit, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna sit here and go, this is a masterpiece, because it's not. I wouldn't put it in the bottom, but if that's what you let me put Ed Wood at the top. So
yeah, no, stinky.
Okay,
it's stinky. Where would you put it? Would you put it like mid?
I'd say mid. Yes.
Yeah, no, it stinks.
just so everyone knows,
I'm not going to compromise.
My opinion is mid, but again, I'm not going to sit here and go, this is so good, because I know
I can't. It's one of those, but I can't even bring myself to compromise on it again.
When it's not. What's the neighbours? Is it Franklin, the neighbour? When he came into it, I did want to turn it off. That's where I was like, fuck this. But I stuck with it.
Off, and I'd spit in his face.
You know when he's in the bath and he's playing with his toys and he's like a 40-year-old man? Yeah.
This is what I mean, though, but what's going on? There's two 40-year-old men running around after a fucking bicycle.
I completely agree.
Acting as if they're 5.
Yeah.
And women going, ooh,
yeah.
You're fit. No.
The girl Pee-wee eventually gets with, what a beautiful woman to go with Pee-wee Herman.
I don't know, the whole chase scene with that giant guy that just keeps coming back.
That's so funny.
Constantly.
Masterpiece. Right, let's move on before you have an aneurysm. The next one is the one now I can't fucking stand. It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, I don't care.
Did you rewatch it on this rewatch? No, it's fucking garbage.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it probably more times than I want to. Yeah. It's almost one of those films that
it was always on, wasn't it? It was always on.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just sitting there and you're like, it's a boring afternoon. ITV's on, Charlie Chocolate. It's Christmas time.
100%. Yeah.
And you're going, ooh, and then you go,
it's that one. Yeah,
no, not that one. Yeah, it's not good, is it?
It fucking stinks, in my opinion.
No, it does.
I hate pretty much everything about it. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Like, I probably don't hate it as much as you. Yeah. Like, I'm not bothered about it. I was probably going to go get a load, but I'm quite happy to drop it down to stinky. Just a big pile of poop. And then
I agree.
Like, this is another film you don't need to touch.
No, and this is the film that made me go, I fucking hate Johnny Depp. This was it. Because what is this performance? What? Yeah, literally. What this performance? Honestly, it's on the same level that you feel about Pee-wee. It just fucks me off. Anything he does, he just fucks me off. I'm just like, I need you to shut up. Right, moving on before I have an aneurysm. This is what I don't know how you felt about, but Big Fish. Do you want me to give my opinion?
No, yeah, go on. Okay. You go first. I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Right, I got nothing out of it until the last half an hour. I cried like a baby. I don't know.
This is it.
Really? You like this much?
This is one of the best films I've ever seen.
Really?
I fucking loved
Give me why.
It's just fucking wholesome.
It is.
It's just
very wholesome.
A beautiful, wholesome film. There's no, it's weird to a degree, but I'd
say it's very weird. The giant and shit. Oh,
no, it is. But it's everything's wholesome. There's nothing nasty about this film. There's no gore. There's no bad things going on. It's just an old man telling old tales of things that happened and just enhancing them to make them sound more interesting, which everyone's seen. We've all got grandparents, we've all got parents who've kind of gone, oh, and then this happened, which it's always, we do it. Do you know what I mean? We'll do when it's how tall was he? He was 6'5". Do you know what I mean? He's about 5'10". Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you tell stories a million times and they just get more and more fanciful as they go through. There's always a degree of truth to it.
Yeah.
They just get more and more ridiculous. And the story, I don't know what it was, man. I just from the moment it started, I was like, okay, let's see. The son sucks. He does. That's the only real problem with it. It's almost. It started, and I felt a bit like, oh, this almost feels like a TV film.
Yeah.
When it starts, and you're a bit like, ooh, this is weird. But then as soon as we get into going back in time with Hugh McGregor, Hugh McGregor is just
amazing.
He's one of my favorite actors of all time. He's just, for these films, especially for anything wholesome, he is he's perfect.
He's like a
for it.
warm soul, isn't he? Like, yeah,
He
just feels
is,
good, yeah.
and it's just, as I said, it's just a man going around doing lovely things for people and having a lovely time along the way. There's no, girls come on to me. He's like, I've got a wife. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, and
yeah.
just little things like that where you just think it's beautiful. And then that ending, I completely agree.
Oh,
Why?
it had me. I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's just beautiful because it's like that thing of you go through this like really weird, random sort of story with him where the son doesn't believe him throughout, and it almost makes you a bit like, what is going on? Like, is this real? And then to see all these people arrive at the end, so all these stories were 100% true, just expanded. There was a thing on the twins where they were conjoined. They weren't conjoined. They were just twins. But all these people that he's like influenced throughout his life, he's had effects on his life, came together for his funeral. Obviously, the whole sort of story where his son tells a story. Oh my god! Like, and he's walking down carrying him, and you see all like this sort of weirdos.
Yeah, that's where I was crying.
Speaking of, and then you get the actual funeral at the end, and they're all there. And it's just a fucking beautiful film. Like, I fucking love this film. This is, I genuinely, I come away from this going, that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It was almost perfect.
I had a feeling that you were either going to say that or say it was shit. And I was leaning towards you loving it. But I don't know what it was. I don't know. I know a lot of people really love this film. Like, people love this film. And I can see why. Like you just explained, I can totally get why. But it just didn't do anything for me at all. I was just sat there, kind of stone-faced the whole time. It's very wholesome, as you said it is. But I don't know, maybe I was expecting something weirder than we got. And then when we kind of got the more fairy tale approach to it and the giant guy and stuff like that, I was just a bit like, I don't know. This fantasy stuff isn't really doing it for me. But then I came away after the end and I was just like, wow, why did I cry?
Because I think that's the thing, isn't it? It is one of those films where it is weird. And I think, as you said, like for me, I was loving it the entire time. For you, going, not really sure what's going on. But then for it to finish and you go, oh, like it's that thing, isn't it? Where you finish and you go, fuck, I see now, like, and all the things sort of come together, and as I said, it's just one of those things where we've all got a family member who does these things, who says these things, and you're always a bit like, fuck off, you're full of shit, blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? But then it turns out they're all true, and all these things have happened to him, and it's as I said, almost perfect as a film, and it is the GOAT. And
I'm happy to pop it there. I'm very happy to put it there. I liked a lot of the characters as well. I think this is one of Helena Bonham Carter's best roles, and I think Steve Buscemi, Danny DeVito, like there's some really good characters here. Yeah, I probably will end up rewatching and getting more out of it. But
I'm getting it, like 100%. That's going in my collection.
I love how much
tomorrow payday. Guess what's happening?
I love that though.
Big fish.
I love how we've come away from the Tim Burton films and we've both got a new favourite. I think that's fucking brilliant. Right.
Complete opposite.
I hate to do this to you one last time, but there's one more I didn't watch. Just one more. Big Eyes.
Oh.
Did you watch this?
It's just odd.
I've heard this shit.
It is. Yeah. But I don't... apparently, so basically it's based on a true story of it's an interesting story. I just don't understand why you'd want to put this to film.
Right.
So it's basically a woman. I've seen there was art, and if I remember correctly, there was definitely, I think it might have been a Nirvana album or something. There was art of like girls with big eyes. You must have seen. You've probably seen a lot of art of it. There's like, I'm sure it was either Nirvana cover or Placebo cover. There's something cover, and she definitely did. She did a bit where she's doing like this sort of like big piece with a load of like they're supposed to be like Russian sort of kids with big eyes and stuff. And do you remember the Korn video? What's the like really so big takes that one?
Oh, Freak on a Leash.
You know, they were all walking. You see all the kids coming down. You got that. It's like the album cover where you got all the kids sort of coming down, like almost like off a cliff. It's almost that image. So there was a few images where I was like, "Oh, this is obviously a real story." But yeah, it's basically about this woman. She leaves her husband. She sort of does a load of art. She meets a guy. She's really unconfident. So she gets the guy. The guy ends up selling the art. Like she makes this big-eyed art. It ends up blowing up like everywhere.
Right.
And this guy is saying it's my art. So the man's saying I did everything, and she's not taking the credit because she's got no confidence and can't speak to people. So he's basically selling his art. It's back in the day when like women weren't really supposed to work and things like that. And then so that happens. It turns out this guy's been full of shit the entire time. He was supposed to be an artist, but he's always been conning. He's always been using other people's art the entire time they've known each other and all this. She leaves him and starts a new life, and that's kind of it.
Right.
That's basically the film. It's rubbish. Just odd. You just kind of go, and it's like, oh, this really happened. And you're like, well, why? Yeah. Why have we shown, outside of, this is the woman who did this art, which is pretty cool, because again, there's a few images that I was like, oh, I know that from somewhere. It's just a woman did a bit of art, the man took the credit for it, she ended up blowing it all up, they went to court, and that was kind of it. He's odd. I think he ended up like becoming his own lawyer and stuff, and trying to like win the case and that. Like, gold Gus. It's just, I just don't understand why it's a film.
Where would you like to put it then, in that regard?
It's just, we'll give it a get a load.
Okay.
It's not. It's just stinky. It might be. I want to do this so we get a load. We're just trying to get a load of this guy. Like,
we'll leave it there. It's put. It's done. It's left.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't know, man.
So
just move on so I can stop doing this.
Okay. This next run of films I think is really up and down, but a lot of my favourites come from this lot now. So let's get straight into it. So we've got the newest on the list, which is Beetlejuice.
Loved it.
You
Beautiful.
Loved it.
We've done a review on it. It is class. It is better than the original for me personally. I put this in the GOAT. I think it's the second best Tim Burton film he's done.
Right. I would go banging. I think it's a very good film. I'm rewatching it tomorrow because I still feel like a fucking idiot for not liking it. I did like it, but I feel like I need to love it. So I'm watching it again tomorrow night, and I do feel like my opinions will change. But for right now, where I'm looking at it right now, I'm going to go, it's like a really middle-of-the-road banging film. I think it does a lot really well, but I think it juggles so much that I do think it loses itself just a little bit. So where shall we put this?
I want it to be a GOAT. You want it to be banging, so I don't know where we go with this one.
Ooh.
I don't particularly want to give it in this one, to be honest with you. There's probably the only other film that I genuinely care about from the Burton stuff.
Okay, I'll be nice.
Thank you.
It's going up. There we go.
I have been nice throughout.
You have been nice throughout, yeah. Next on the list is Alice in Wonderland.
I don't care.
Yeah, rubbish. I don't care. I think this...
Again, like, just stop touching stuff.
Yeah.
I'll rephrase that.
Try.
Stop trying to recreate old classic films.
Thank you very much. I think this film kicked off the Disney live-action era. This was it. This was the beginning. And I personally blame it for making some of the worst films go in. So based on that, it goes right at the bottom for me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Fucking rubbish.
I didn't rewatch it, so I've seen it. But
I've seen it so many times at this point. I don't know why I've seen it so many times, but it fucking sucks. Next on the list is Beetlejuice, the original. This goes at the top for me. That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I put it in top as well.
Okay.
Because it's again.
Did you rewatch?
It's something where.
Did you rewatch?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I watched it again, and as I said, it's good. And again, as I said, as I said in the review, like I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think, as I said, Beetlejuice for me was better, more entertaining. Again, it's another one, isn't it? It's Beetlejuice. It is pretty
it's so
much
iconic.
There's probably this and maybe one other that you would be like, if you go Beetlejuice, you go Tim Burton.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I think it's this kind of, it's iconic, isn't it? It's Beetlejuice. Like, there's a reason that 27 years later we've got a second one, and it's absolutely fucking blown up.
Yeah, no, it
because
has.
It's Beetlejuice.
It has.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this is probably, this and Ed Wood now for me are my two top Tim Burton films. I've always loved this film. I love the characters. I love the
hilarious because I take it Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I know. It's really funny how this has all worked out. But yeah, I'm going to put it at the top just because I think you can't really not have this at the top. I think it's fucking iconic. Next up, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. What are you saying? It's going to hurt my feelings, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So average. It's so average, man. I just don't. It was one of those, right, where I've watched again a long time ago, and I was genuinely going into this. Maybe I was expecting too much. I don't know, but I was going into this being like, yeah, this is going to be. I do love a musical, and I was like, this is going to be good. Like, I remember relatively enjoying this back in the day, so I was going into this with a bit of high hopes, and it's just painfully average. I just didn't get fuck all from it. It doesn't go anywhere for me. I think that's my biggest problem.
Right.
Is we sort of like we start off, and once we sort of actually get to the whole barber thing, it's just it doesn't. Nothing really happens. Like we have the big bit with Sacha Baron Cohen, and outside of that, it's just ooh, I'm just killing people, and we're making pies, and I'm killing people, and I'm making pies, and it's like, okay, it's too dark. Like it's way too dark. Like the actual film is too dark.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the time where I was going, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where you are because I can't see anything.
Yeah.
The songs are mega average because no one can really sing, can they? Let's be honest, Johnny Depp can't sing.
No, he's not great. No.
He can't. He can hold a tune. He can't sing. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't. I'm not going. Ooh, that's painful. But it's not. No one in this film really sings. Like, there's nobody in there going.
Funnily enough, I'd say probably Sacha Baron Cohen is the best.
Probably is the best singer. Yeah, like he felt a bit like he kind of done a bit of musical theatre. But everyone else, there's no like singer in this. There's no like song that I go, oh, that song was sick. Like I just, sorry man, but I didn't get. I got nothing from this.
Here's a fun story for you. Everything you just said, I completely agreed with the first time I watched it. I'll never forget the first time we watched this as a family. Like I think, I can't remember how old it was when it came out, but we watched it when it came out. All of us at the family watching it, enjoying it. Loved a bit of Sweeney Todd, like, and it got to the point where they like sat on the beach and he's in that stupid black and white stripe thing, and I literally got up and I was like, no, no, I don't like this at all, and I just didn't get it. I just couldn't get on with it. As the years have gone on, I've rewatched, and every time I watch it, I like it a bit more. And a bit more. I don't think it's the best film ever, and I agree the story is mid at best. But the role that Johnny Depp plays here, just like these two together, Helena Bonham Carter and him together in this film, I love it. I just love watching these two together. And as I said, I'm not a big fan of either of them. And then that whole bit when Sacha Baron Cohen comes in, that bit, insane.
And that probably is the best bit of the film.
And I love, obviously, what's his name? Snape from Harry Potter. His role in this film. No, it's escaped me as well. I'm very sad about that. His role in this film, with him being such a villain, and like the things, like obviously his plotline is horrible. It's really horrible.
No, it is horrible.
And I really, this feels bad for me to say this, but I love the storyline because it's so dark, and it's like a big difference for him to play. Do you know what I mean? Alan Rickman, that's it.
And
then his eventual ending, I really, really like.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those films. It's one of those films where every time I watch it, I just get a bit more out of it. But I'm not going to sit here again and defend it, saying it's an undisputed masterpiece and you didn't get it. Like I'm never going to do.
Yeah. No, it's fair. Like I can understand. I think this is. Watching this, I was like, yeah, this is you. This is a lot more of your kind of like I'm more of like the. When it comes to music, I'm more of like the musically musicals. Do you know what I mean? The sort of like woo sort of stuff. Whereas you're more of like the Repo, for example, like the more dark, like broody sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously again with that, with this one, yeah, I've gone mid, is what I'm trying to say. Where are you going?
I would probably go banging, but
I mean, I'm not stuck. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to go banging, I can go banging. I don't agree, but I can go it because I know this one means a bit more to you than it does to me.
Yeah, it's just one of those films that every time I watch, I get more out of it, and yeah, I'd like to put it in banging realistically. But it's a low banging. It's a low banging.
No, it's fine. It's not like it. Look, you like what you like in it. Do you know what I mean?
I like what I like.
Again, this is. You know, I know this. There was a few films like this included. I thought, yeah, this is damn. Yeah. Like, I mean, if you'd gone GOAT, I would have completely disagreed.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But if we go in one up, like again, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not asked. It ain't for me. But if it's for you.
Cool. We've got 3 left, and I think they really vary. These 3 are very varied. So we've got Corpse Bride. What are you saying?
I had a good time.
It's a fucking banger of a film.
Oh, wonderful.
One of my favourites ever.
Oh, thank God.
Glorious.
I thought, for some reason, I thought you were going to be like, oh.
No, stunning film.
No,
stunning.
It's really good, isn't it?
All the comedy hits, all the dramatic parts hit, everything hits. This is a banger.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. I genuinely enjoyed this. This is another one where I was a bit like, wasn't really sure what I was getting into. Oh. And the more I went on, the more I was like, Oh, this is actually again. It's quite wholesome. It's a
Oh,
bit
it's
weird. I
beautiful.
think this is
It's beautiful.
no. This isn't the first animated thing he did, is it?
No, no, no.
No, no. But yeah, this it was. It's interesting. I think to be fair, I watched this and I was like, yeah, until well, with the exception of like Big Fish and now Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Burton's better animation than he
Yeah.
is at live action
Yeah.
films. Like his animated films generally are really good because
Mm-hmm.
because he's got that like weird, it's almost Roald Dahl-esque sort of animation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where everyone's like a caricature, they're all like a massive chins and they're all like a bit odd.
The policeman, where he's like a bell.
Yeah, like it's odd, isn't it? Like I think he works a lot better when it comes to animation. He can kind of get his ideas across better. It looks a bit less silly because it's animation.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love this film.
Oh, it's
fucking
fucking
really good.
This is glorious. This is what I only just realized today though. It's only an hour and 14 minutes. It's a really short film, but like everything about this film just hits for me. I love it. So we go
There's no
top.
stage welcome either, does it?
No, it doesn't. And then the ending as well is so fucking lush. I love it. We go in top for that.
Yeah, I'm happy to go top. I was going to go banging, but I'm happy to go top.
Oh yeah, no, I think it deserves top spot. If I'm being honest, I think it's glorious. Mars Attacks. Now I'm going to start with Mars Attacks because this film was like an integral part of my childhood. I don't know why, but like we watched this film so much as a kid, right? Yeah. And growing up, I was always like, yeah, Mars Attacks is one of the best films he ever did. It's one of my favorite comedies. Rewatched it. It's not that great.
No, it's all right, isn't it?
It's
much.
Odd. The heavy reliance
really
on CGI.
Weird.
The CGI of the aliens is fucking abysmal. Why he did that and not practical blows my mind.
I think, I sort of explained this though. That I did say this to you the other day. I think from what I've heard, I might be completely wrong, but I've definitely seen this somewhere where basically this film was made as a fuck you, as a like, we're gonna make something fucking shit, and you're all gonna hate it, and everyone went, I fucking love this. So I think it's actually intentionally bad. It was intended to look like garbage, and it's supposed to be fucking stupid. I mean, Tom Jones is one of the main characters of this film, which is like fantastic for us. Let's do Welsh boys, very happy. But like, why the fuck is Tom Jones one of your main actors in this film? Like, it makes
of
no
this film
sense.
is unbelievable. You've got Pierce Brosnan, Sarah Jessica Parker, you've got Jack Nicholson, you've got all these names, Jack Black. Like, it is crazy. Actors. So the thing is, I still really like it, and it clearly I do because I've got a poster of the alien on my wall. I've got a badge on my jacket. Like, these characters are iconic to me. These aliens are like some of the best aliens put to film, in my opinion. But it's the comedy that leaves so much to be desired. It's like not that funny.
No, it's not. There's not a lot of actual. That's what I mean. I don't think this was made to be a funny film. I generally think they made this as just a rip on Hollywood, on these sort of alien films, and I don't think it's supposed to be funny. I generally think they made a serious.
I quote this film constantly. Whenever, like, my brother loves that fucking donut place in Bridgend, and whenever he brings it up, I'm like, whoa, is he a national sign of the donut? Like he says on the TV. And whenever we're cooking food and it's burning, I'm like, oh, what's that? Barbecue? Like, this film, it's just like ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? And again, I think this genuinely was made as not scary, as an alien sci-fi film, like a legit film in a piss take way, but it's not like a piss take. It's not a satire. It's made legitimately, but terribly. So it's really odd, isn't it?
The alien prostitute, like, it's just so.
Yeah,
it's such a weird.
It's really odd, but I had a good time.
No, and I like I really still like it. No, I agree.
Yeah, I don't understand what it is about this film. Like, it's not like bad though, is it? Like, you don't watch it going like, as I said, when Planet of the Apes, you're going, oh, this is fucking atrocious, and I'm enjoying it because you're trying to be straight and it's stupid. Yeah. Whereas this one, you're like, it's just, you just watch it, don't you? It's one of those films where you'd go, unless you see Mars Attack, you won't understand what Mars Attack is.
I completely agree.
So I'm gonna go banger.
Me too.
Because I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I have no idea why.
No, I'm exactly.
And I would watch it again, and I'd probably go, still don't know.
And it's such a major cult classic. Like, this has been adopted by horror fans. Like, they fucking go wild over this. And there's a game coming out.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, they're like, it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but for Mars Attacks. Who the fuck is making that? So funny.
I don't know. It's going to be back, though, isn't it?
Also,
we've got one left.
One left.
You missed one.
What have I missed?
My Little Friend, the Frankenweenie.
No, that's the next one.
You've missed a massive one.
It's not directed by him, mate.
Oh, you fuck off.
It's not. I'm sorry.
Don't be that guy, but you go on his Wikipedia, it's there.
It's Tim Burton presents Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, come on!
Wait, okay, before we get into Frankenweenie, yes, it obviously is, and I would have included it, but I thought we were going directed by Tim Burton.
Oh, come on!
I was waiting. I've been waiting for you to bring it up.
Hey. Do you know where this guy's going? Get a load of fucking this guy. Like, get a load of...
I'm sorry, it was not directed by Timothy Burton.
Oh, you're a fucking arsehole sometimes. Like, Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
I'm so glad this is on camera. This shows how much of a dick he is. Like, this side, I don't know which side you are.
I'm down here.
Knobhead. Like, I'm down here, you fucking knobhead.
Right, Frankenweenie. This is the last one.
Why don't we finish with Frankenweenie? It's alright. It's alright, innit?
I hate it.
You go, there we are, it's a dog. It's
I hate
weird, it's odd. It's a dog that comes back as a Frankenstein. There's big fucking rats and shit at the end. It's me.
Godzilla. It's rubbish.
It's rubbish. Want to go stinky? Put it in there then, shall we?
Yeah.
There we are. Frankenweenie in there. Dickhead.
Do you know what's funny? There's not a single film in mid.
I was in that.
Not a single.
I think we compromised every time.
We did.
It was always like, oh, we'll go up or we'll go down. What a nice bunch of boys, apart from the end, you fucking...
I'll edit it in, don't worry, it'll be edited in. There it is, in the goat.
Edit it in, yeah, in the goat.
Yes, that's absolutely fine. I totally agree.
Let's speak about Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay. Fuck you, Dan. We're going to speak about Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's a good
Why
Christmas
do you love Nightmare Before Christmas? It's probably, as I said earlier, there are two films that Tim Burton is known for.
Yes.
One is Beetlejuice.
Yes.
There is Nightmare Before
One
fucking
is Sweeney
Christmas.
Todd.
No, the other one is Nightmare Before Christmas, Dan. Dick.
This was a pre-made list.
This is probably... Oh, shut up. This is probably... this is his most iconic film. How you can't include this? When people say Tim Burton, this is the film speak about.
I completely agree with you.
So just put it in there. Don't be a dick about it. Be like, well, technically, fuck off, man. Do you know what I mean? You wait till our list is coming out. Do the things I've included in the other tier list that this dickhead's got nothing to do with films that I've added for you, you fucking knob. Nightmare Before Christmas is the best.
Is it your favourite Tim Burton film?
No.
You're so upset about it. It's not even your favourite. Okay, what is so number one is what, Big Fish for you, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. I actually really respect that because obviously mine's Ed Wood now. So it's nice that we did this rewatch and came up with new favourites. I really love that.
So should we compromise on a goat?
Yes. Oh, that's going to be
I think we can not include those two.
Okay.
Because we're completely opposite on... Well, we're not completely, but, we're not going to agree on those two.
No.
So who have we got in the GOAT? You've got Night Before Christmas.
Yeah. We've got Batman Returns. Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Corpse Bride.
He's done it now. We're all fucked.
I know. And then the other two.
I think, from what we agreed on, I think it's Batman Returns.
It feels weird saying that for Tim Burton, but I did actually look at that myself. I was going to say Corpse Bride, but...
Yeah, we could do either or. Personally, I probably preferred Batman Returns.
Fair. I've rewatched Corpse Bride more. I couldn't tell you which one I prefer. If I'm being totally honest, it would probably be Corpse Bride, just because as much as I like Batman, I'm not the biggest Batman fan ever in the world. Do you know what I mean? But I'm happy to more discussion for this.
No, I'll agree. That's
really?
I'm happy with it being Corpse Bride. Like it's another one. I think there was probably two, wasn't it, that we genuinely agreed on. And I think it's a lovely film. Wow. I think they're both lovely films.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'm happy to have them as a joint performers. But yeah, it's Corpse Bride. Corpse Bride is the GOAT. Surprising.
That is surprising.
Didn't expect it to be Corpse Bride.
I didn't expect it either, but I'm happy. I'm very happy with that choice.
Corpse Bride is the GOAT.
Love that.
Followed by Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, Night Before Christmas.
Yeah, I can confidently agree with you with that one. But this is our ranking. It'll be on this side. So, let us know. Other side, there you go. Let us know what you think of our ranking. And then down below, give us your favourites. Do you agree with Course Bride being number one? I highly doubt it. But still, this is our video, so,
Yeah. Tell him how much of an idiot he is for not including Night Before Christmas.
Well, I went on tierlist.com, tiermaker.com, Tim Burton directed, no Night Before Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Blame the website. Anyway, thank you very much for watching us do that. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good. That
was a lot of fun. Considering we both said we didn't really like Tim Burton, I think we had more in positive than negative, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I was pleasantly surprised.
Me too. Do you have anything to ask?
Probably one or two that I will add to the collection.
Yeah, 100%. Do you have anything to ask our growing audience?
For that extra one person now. Just tell us your favourite Tim Burton film, man. Come on. Tell us which one you enjoyed. Tell us why I'm wrong. Tell us why Dan's wrong.
Tell us why Pee-wee is the best one. Goated.
And I will fight you all. But yeah, just tell us your favourite Tim Burton film. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on all the socials. You put all the social at the end.
They'll be at the end. They will indeed.
There we are. Follow us on all of those. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good shit.
And we will see you next time.
See you later.